Welcome in, everybody, and welcome to Studio de Jeffrey, where it is time to get ready for day 3 of the NFL draft. Day 2 is behind us, and I got to tell you, day 2 was better than day 1, according to this particular person. The fun part about getting ready for day 3 is that what we can do is we can just share what the board looks like. But just briefly, what did the Cowboys do? The Cowboys took Dan Quinn favorite Sam Williams out of Ole Miss, the defensive end, or the edge, if you will. They took him in the second round, and they took my guy, Jalen Tolbert, in the third round, wide receiver, who will compete with James Washington to be a starter on this team as a rookie, I do believe. He was my favorite Cowboys pick yesterday. And Jody, who says, "Where were you yesterday? I couldn't find you online." I didn't stream yesterday because KT wasn't available. And I decided that I was just going to enjoy the draft like a normal human, and then I could wake up this morning and talk to you guys, and we could just all be happy and enjoy the draft. Sky Moore did go just before us. Sky Moore is a Kansas City Chief. Oh, he's going to go so bonkers. So, two guys that the Cowboys drafted. Sam Williams is a really nice defensive end prospect. You do have to get past charges that were filed that are disturbing, that were dropped, and then he returned, played college football, and now he's been drafted in the second round. Cowboys were tied to Sam Williams forever since Dan Quinn worked him out. And that is the thing. I don't know, tell me if you care or if it bothers you, but the fact that before the draft starts that we knew at 24 there's a real possibility Tyler Smith was going to be the pick, and in the second round we called the Sam Williams pick months ago. The Cowboys tend to, one, have a leaky ship, and two, they know who they're picking almost no matter who's available, which part of that is alarming to me because the last time that I feel like they did that was, don't let me get my years confused, but I believe it would have been Taco, Cheeto, Jordan Lewis. And Cheeto and Jordan Lewis have worked out fine. Taco didn't, but it's because I feel like they predetermined, oh, yep, that's the spot we're taking. We're filling this spot at number 27, and that's that. And I feel like they kind of did that with left guard in the first round, and they were going to pick Sam Williams in the second because it was Dan Quinn's guy. And on day 3, at least according to how I've ranked the players, might have been the first time that they went, hey, what about the guy at the top of the board that fits a need? How about we just take Jalen Tolbert? So that's that. Yeah, Jelani Woods is gone. I do believe there's a decent chance that you're going to have a tight end go into the Cowboys at some point today, and I can just pull up my board and I can show you guys who would be most likely. Let me hit some buttons here. As long as you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. If you're listening later, you won't be able to see the visual. But share, tab, board, share. All right. You guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that, right? Okay. So here's what you're looking at. The names in blue are the names that the Cowboys have already picked. That is Tyler Smith. You can see him under the offensive tackles. If you look down, I had him ranked at the top of the third round. They took him in the first. In the second round, you can see my edge guys. Just look down, find the guy whose name is in blue. That's Sam Williams. Had him as a second round guy. No problem. Then you whip it on over to wide receiver, and the name in blue is Jalen Tolbert, who I had as a second/third rounder, and they got him in the third round. Good. We like that. So Jalen Tolbert would be my favorite pick so far. Now you look at orange is they were first round picks. Pink is they were second round picks. Green is they were third round picks. And if their names haven't changed colors yet, they ain't been picked yet. So if you want to know, hey, who's your best available player, then I would look through my rankings and I would say edge, Enagbare out of South Carolina. Perrion Winfrey, defensive tackle, Oklahoma. Jamari Sawyer and Darian Kennard, guards out of Georgia and Kentucky. And if you are willing to double dip at wide receiver, Khalil Shakir at Boise State, Calvin Austin III at Memphis. So those are my top guys left. If you're looking at the positions that we think they may target, I would be aware of Charlie Kohler, the tight end at Iowa State. Cade Otton, tight end at Washington. Those are two guys that are very, very possible that the Cowboys will be targeting today when the draft gets going. Damian Pierce and Isaiah Spiller Am I doing that right? Is that his right? That's his first name, right? CJ Spiller is the guy who's already been in the NFL. Isaiah Spiller is the guy at A&M. Anyway, couple of running backs here that now you're on day 3. You could rock and roll and go that direction. And so that's where I think that we should probably focus. Dude, I might double dip at offensive line. Jamari Sawyer, who's Georgia's left tackle. I think he'll be a guard in the NFL, but you could do all of that. What are their needs today? Here's the challenge of day 3. You guys ready? This is the challenge of day 3 of the NFL draft. Most of the guys they pick are not going to be NFL starters, and some of them are not going to make NFL teams. That's the way the draft works. We're going into the 4th round. 4th round, you get a chance. 5th round, you have less of a chance. 6th and 7th round picks rarely turn into much. But they have a whole bunch of picks to fire at this thing. So the idea would be to hit on 1 or 2, maybe even 3 of these picks and get contributors with those. So do I believe that they will take a running back at some point? Probably. Do I believe they'll take a tight end at some point? Absolutely. After that, I think you're just firing at players that you think have traits that you could develop into a good player. For instance, I'll give you a name. I have no idea their interest level. Brandon Smith, Penn State linebacker. Boy, you look at him moving on a football field and you go, that's a first-round pick. But then you pay attention to, is he sure what he's doing on a football field? And you go, man, I probably wouldn't draft him. But boy, I would like to see what he looks like if I tell him, hey, try rushing the passer. Go down there and rush the passer. It's day 3. If you've got a guy with great traits that you think you can develop into something really good, you pick him and you see what happens. If you'd like to add to the cornerback room, out of the guys I've seen, Kobe Bryant at Cincinnati would be an option. Belton, the safety at Iowa, if you're looking at a safety, or Verone McKinley at Oregon. So these are my top guys. I'll be honest. I'm not going to stream all day when the draft starts here in about an hour because it ain't my day. I've seen 120, 125 players. There's been about 100 players drafted already. Today is Dane Brugler's day. So I would be tuned in to the Athletics Draft podcast because Dane has seen every single player. And that's that. What's wrong with your stream quality? Hey, other people out there, are we having stream quality problems? Are we having stream quality problems? Or are we okay? So you guys can screenshot this, or here, I'll just share the link in the chat. Share. Get link. And so now, if you care to follow along with what this random guy thinks about the players, then rock and roll. There you go. Let me turn that off. Bring me back. Hello, it's me. Jeff, if Khalil or Calvin Austin falls, what would you think about double dipping at wide receiver? I like it. I like it a lot. Screen's blurry. What am I doing wrong? I haven't changed anything. I don't know. So yeah, now you have my board and you are armed with the information you need to be ready to draft on day 3. By the way, I want to tell you guys that my partners at Bet Online, they continue to be the number 1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Shout out to Bet Online, my people, partners. We rock and roll together. You can find all the latest sports developments, updated odds in the NBA playoffs, fights, next season's futures, MLB's back. You can go pick who's going to win the World Series. All your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. Super easy to get started. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device to join and use the promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. You go bet on the Dallas Stars. Playoff bound, baby. Wild card 1. Go get you some Mavericks action. Dallas Mavericks Phoenix Suns starts tomorrow. Party. Shout out to my guys at Bet Online. Thanks for being a part of this thing. Jeff, is this going to be your only form of content? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. Calvin and Shakir. Which one, though? Well, that's when you look at my board, and my board tells you that I have Khalil Shakir ahead of Calvin Austin. Although, now that you've taken Jalen Tolbert, Calvin Austin's a gadget guy. Like, he's a small, light, hyper explosive, jet sweep, slot only. Calvin Austin's tons of fun. So he could just be like a compliment, or maybe he's not your second or third wide receiver, he's your 4th wide receiver that plays 30 snaps a game, and he does the bits. He does the jet sweep stuff. That would be fun. I mean, will you only be on YouTube/Twitter? I don't know. For now, yeah, I'm doing online content. I quit my job. I didn't like my job. So here we are. Why didn't Spiller go higher? He plays running back. The league's figured it out. Like Brees Hall is a great prospect. He went in the second round because the league has figured it out. You don't take running backs in the first round. Every year, what happens with running backs is you have a team that thinks, man, we're a pretty damn complete team. We can use a first round pick on a running back, like the Chiefs did with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now they'd love to get rid of him. And then this year, everything was pointing to the Bills at 25, like, well, they're going to take a running back. They're a complete team. Just need to add a better running back. And they passed in the first round on a running back because people are getting smarter. Cade York, kicker from LSU, with one of our fifth round picks. I think they're going to take a kicker today. Shout out to Vance, first super chat of the day. What else are you doing today? Some grilling. Also, what's Bet Online saying about the Mavs series? I would imagine Phoenix. I don't have it pulled up, but I'd imagine Phoenix is a considerable favorite. I believe in Luka, and I believe in Jalen Brunson. Don't worry about it. They're going to pick a kicker. It'll either be Cade York or Dicker the kicker, or I forget the Oklahoma guy's name. And I say that as someone who has done zero scouting on any of them because they're kickers. Someone else has to do it. Yeah, my buddy Mitch yesterday said he was going to buy a jersey if they take Dicker, just because Dicker the kicker would be a cool jersey to have. What do you think about Justin Ross? I think it's the day that somebody needs to fire at him too. Eagles got way better. Cowboys are just trying to duct tape everything together. I do like Tolbert, though. Yeah, the Eagles got way better. Oh, look at KT in here scouting kickers for us. Garibay from Texas Tech is the kicker. I don't care. And yeah, it's very possible the Cowboys will start using fifth round picks to move up for guys if there is a guy that they like. I tell you, the one that jumps out at me is probably Perion Winfrey. OU defensive tackle. They didn't really unleash him at OU in the way that you will in the NFL as a three technique and let him rush the passer. But boy, he's got a nice get off and some good pass rushing traits. Winfrey is a guy I would consider going up for. And then I would just keep my eyes on guys. They may go up for a tight end unless they like a bunch of these guys. I've got Kolar, then Otten, then Okonkwo, then Isaiah Likely. That's four different tight ends. That could be the guy. But remember, this is day 3. If it's not a guy with really good traits in some way that you're trying to develop, the odds of him turning into like a good starter, kind of low. Okay. So go into this thing with tempered expectations. Just pick the player at the top of the board or the player with the best traits. If you think that you're going to draft for need in the 5th or 6th round, and like, oh yeah, we'll just plug in this guy to right here. The vast majority of them, it's not true. It's just not true. What would we do with Winfrey? Bury him on the depth chart behind Osa and Gallimore? Yeah. You wouldn't bury him. You would play all of them. You would play Gallimore could play the 1 or the 3. He's probably, well, I would say he's your starting 3 technique, but then Osa is also a 3rd round pick, but I think he's probably his backup. But they don't have a real 1 technique at this point. What are they going to throw Carlos Watkins back in there? Have Tristan Hill play it? You've got room to draft a defensive tackle who can play and get rid of one that's on your roster right now. Jason, does the Smith pick rule out a guard selection today? Not necessarily, because it's possible Connor McGovern ain't going to be on the team this year. It's possible. I don't know anything about it, but it's possible. Any chance Dallas will want Bell from Florida A&M or Williams from Fayetteville? Are those both corners? This is why this is Dane Brugler's day on The Athletic, because he'll know who you're talking about and tell you exactly when they're going to be picked. Is Tolbert playing outside? Jalen Tolbert can play anywhere. Jalen Tolbert can play the slot. He can play outside. That allows CD to play the slot when you want him to. CD can play outside whenever you want to. You'll have interchangeable guys. Jalen Tolbert is one of my favorite receivers in this class because he's a route manipulator. When you talk about getting open, we did this on the Believe Cowboys show yesterday with Jesse Holley. When you talk about getting open, for receivers, a lot of that is I need to convince the guy covering me that I'm doing something other than what I'm doing. And one of the best ways to do that is to manipulate speeds. You come off the ball really hard and you can run kind of fast. It's like, oh, I got to back up. And it's like you kind of start doing little shifts and slow downs and blah, 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 blah. And now the corner's like, oh, he stopped. Oh, no, he's not stopped. Oh, crap. He just caught a 60-yard touchdown. Jalen Tolbert is a good speed manipulator in the route. I love him. Will the Cowboys draft a kicker? Absolutely. Thoughts on John Ridgeway, the D tackle from Arkansas? He is one of the last guys left that if you're looking for a one technique, might have a chance to make your football team. And so that's that. And so that's that. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat today and figure out where I'm going to watch. Hey, Jeff, what is the metrics for selecting rounds? In other words, why are the top 32 guys in each draft rated as a round one talent? Why are they? They're not. And I've seen people say you should have 32 first round grades every year because there's 32 picks. And I disagree, but maybe I just need somebody who's smart at analytical thinking to help me to explain to me why you should do it that way. Like I think I had, you can look at my board. I had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 first round graded players because it's just to make sure that you know how you think of these guys. If I'm making myself do 32 first round graded players, then at pick 30, I'd be like, oh, yeah, we've definitely got at least 3 first round guys left. Let's just go ahead and pick one. Whereas I want to know how much I love or don't love each guy. When all my first round guys are gone, I need to know that at pick 20, all my first round guys are gone. So if I have an opportunity to add value and trade back, I'm not in love with any of these guys. It's trying to add value and trade back instead of just picking a second round graded player. So I'll need an analytical guy to explain to me why you should need to have 32 first round grades and 32 second round grades. It's really just, yes, Mark, it's just an arbitrary line and a range of values, basically. So, like, if you look at how I rank players, I even cheat. I have first round guys, and then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 guys that I put into the 1-2 category between the first and the second. It's just a way to separate groups of guys and how much you like them. So I don't think it needs to be even numbers. Vance, Jeff, can definitely relate to how your job can mess with your mental health. Glad you're able to get out of a bad situation. Hoping to do the same. Thank you, Vance. I appreciate you being here. I love you, brother. Yeah, I'm happy in work life now. I is happy in work life now. It feels like a pasta day. Maybe. Your boy is bad at getting to the grocery store to prepare for these things. I need to be better at getting to the grocery store so that I have things. But is the Texas A&M running back a replacement for Zeke? Sure. Texas A&M running back, the BYU running back, the Florida running back. There's dudes out there that you could pick that could be one of your running backs next year. Bellinger, Likely, or Otten for tight end today. Don't forget, where's his name? Don't forget Kohler. I don't know how to say everybody's name these days. He could be the guy. Bellinger, unfortunately, I haven't seen. So, Dalton, if you're in the chat, tell people if they should pick Bellinger. Maybe you've seen him. Time to put something on the grill. Oh, that might be the right play. Who do you think you take in the 4th? If I had to guess who they take in the 4th, I'll reiterate my top players would be Perion Winfrey, Inigbare, the defensive end at South Carolina, Jamari Sawyer, Darian Kennard, those are offensive linemen, Khalil Shakir, Calvin Austin, those are wide receivers. But I think they'll go down by their needs. Because for Stephen Jones saying we don't have any musts in this draft, they damn sure picked 3 players at their biggest positions of need. We didn't have to, though. Sure about that? And now they need a tight end. Probably. So I could see them picking a tight end in the 4th round. That would be my guess. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the draft, whether you're doing the draft show or the athletic or however you are taking it in. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I will go figure out how I'm going to watch the draft, and it'll be lovely, 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 and wonderful. This show is presented by Bet Online, and I love you, and I'm looking forward to doing more drafting. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you.